What's up, Waniacs? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. I was going to record outside today, but it's like Wizard of Oz windy out there, and I figured it'd be best if I just kind of hunker down indoors and out of the 20-25 mile an hour wind gusts. Today, I'm actually going to deliver on what the title says. I'm giving you the 6 unexpected costs of living here in Baltimore and some of its surrounding counties. Every time I research this topic online, the 6 unexpected costs morphed into this cost of living video. I have cost of living videos on my channel, or if I don't, I think they're coming up. I have a lot coming up. Speaking of which, so you don't miss anything that I have coming your way, you might want to subscribe and tap the bell. That way you'll be notified when my new videos drop. I'm pretty sure I'll check and I'll link the cost of living video at the end of this video, but I'm pretty sure I have one. If not, it's going to be coming your way. But I digress. So this is going to be literally 6 items that you may have not expected to have to pay when you move here to the area. And speaking of such, if you're thinking of moving to Baltimore, like I said, it's my hometown, born and raised here. I do know just about everything about it. And if I don't know something about it and you need to know what I don't know, I'll get you the answer. So if you're thinking of moving here in a week, a month, 6 months, a year, 2 years, whatever it may be, all of my information is down below. I'll flash my number and such here on the screen. That way you can reach out to me. I'm at this 8 days a week, and I'd welcome the opportunity to show you around my hometown. Something else I'm going to try and do my best is to not talk so much with my hands, because I talk a lot with my hands, and so you'll see like my fingers kind of popping up here like that, and that's probably annoying. I'm going to try not to do that. I'm just not used to doing this style of video, so we're going to be learning something new together. See, there I go. All right, so here we go. Now, delivering on the title's promise, the 6 unexpected things that you're going to have to pay when you move here. Now, some of these are maybe you would expect them, but the price of such you wouldn't expect, and some of these you're not going to expect it at all. It's like the last one, you're going to be like, are you serious, Wayne? Like, that's really a thing there? Yes, it is, and I'm telling you, it's laughable. When you learn that we're a state that used to tax the rain, maybe it's not so laughable, but I'm telling you, it's hilarious. You're not going to believe it, and it could be coming to a city near you. So you're going to want to hang around and check this one out. All right, so the first thing that I want to talk about are rents. Now, I do a lot of buyers and sellers. I also help a lot of renters because with real estate, I also do property management. Like I said, I've been doing this for a while, so I know a lot about I guess you could say. And I do help a lot of folks who move here from out of town rent for a year, and then we have such an awesome time together that they normally come back to me 99% of the time, and they use me as their buyer agent as well. So I do know a lot about the rental market, and I can tell you that the rents here are high. Now, this year, as reported by the American Community Survey, we are number 4 in the price of rents in the area. We have Hawaii at $1,651 median monthly rent. We have our nation's capital, DC, at $1,607. We have California at $1,586. And coming in at number 4, we have Maryland at $1,415. And while Baltimore City is cheaper to rent, Maryland as a whole comes in at number 4 on the list. Now, most folks are spending between 30 and 33% of their income on rent. So these other items that I'm going to talk about, you really have to take into consideration, because when you're already putting out 30% on rent and you've got 70% left, you want to pay attention to these other costs that could creep into your lifestyle as the dollars kind of creep out of your bank account. So the rents are something that maybe weren't unexpected, but maybe the price is a little unexpected. So let's jump to something that is unexpected. Let's say you've already rented and now you're purchasing a property. Or let's say maybe you're in a lease and your lease hasn't ended yet and you've purchased a property and now that property is sitting there. Or let's say you're moving from out of state and you're still handling the logistics of where you live now. You've already purchased a property here in Baltimore and that property is sitting there waiting for you to move into. Well, here in Baltimore City, we have a vacant property registration fee, and it's $25. Now you have within 10 days of property transfer to register that vacant property with Baltimore City. And then heaven forbid if it stays vacant, you've got to pay that $25 January 1st thereafter every time. So just to stay up and up with Baltimore City, you purchase a property if it's sitting there vacant, and if you know it's going to be vacant for a bit, maybe a couple of weeks or a month or 2 months or whatever it may be, you're going to want to register it with Baltimore City with the vacant property registration fee of $25. It'll go into their system. I can help you with all that, but that way you'll stay legit with the property and the powers that be down at City Hall. Now, something else that may be expected, water bills. Obviously, you live in a property, you're going to use water, and you're going to get billed for it. Now, the average monthly water bill here in Baltimore City is $130 a month. Now, we bill water through water consumption out of the tap and through the usage of sewer. So there's 2 fees on your water bill. Actually, there's more than 2 fees on your water bill, and we'll get to those in a second. But our water bills are going to average about $130 a month. DC is about $118. Philly is about $73. We're looking at $105 in West Virginia. I'm just trying to give you some kind of around us, but yeah, so here in Baltimore City, we're looking at $130 a month. Now, we bill the water, or if you're from Baltimore, you say water. We bill the water there on cubic feet, which is 748 gallons. But like I said, there's more to the water bill than just the usage fees. That vacant property that I was telling you about, you got a vacant property just sitting there. No one's in there using water, but that property is sitting vacant and you're going to get a water bill on it. And you're thinking, why, Wayne? Why would I get a water bill at a house where no one's using water? Now, we do have haunted properties here, but I have yet to walk in on a ghost in a shower. But I'm talking account management fee, a charge for the infrastructure, the bay restoration fee, which I am happy to pay because I love our Chesapeake Bay and what it provides our state, and a stormwater fee. So between the account management fee, the infrastructure fee, the bay restoration fee, and the stormwater fee, you're looking at $50 on your bill right there, before you even calculate drinking out of the faucet and flushing the toilet.
If I'd been drinking out of the toilet, I might have been killed.
You got $50 on your bill. Just something to keep in mind. And if you're adding that water bill to the overall utility section of your budget, where you're talking about gas and electric, and I'm not going to get into BG&E and gas and electric and all those fees, but if you're adding all that in, then our utility bills as a whole are typically a tad higher than most. So you want to keep that in mind. Something else you want to keep in mind is your car. Real quick, if you're digging this content, do me a favor and click the like button. It really helps my channel. It also helps to put my channel out there into the interweb, and it helps other folks that are looking for information about Baltimore and Maryland as a whole. Maybe they're thinking of moving here. It puts my info in front of their eyeballs, and it helps them. It helps me. It helps the YouTube algorithm. So if you could click the like button, I would greatly appreciate that. All right, so we used to rent, but then we purchased a home. It was vacant for a little bit while we got our stuff together. Now we're living in the home. We've paid some water bills. Something else we've got to keep in mind as we move about the community, if we're not walking or driving. And a lot of folks here have cars. I'm not a huge fan of the public transportation infrastructure that we have in place here. It is improving, and I do use it. I'm just not a huge fan, so I do have a car. A lot of folks have a car here. And yes, I know a car isn't an unexpected cost, but let me tell you, the maintenance on the car can be unexpected, or per se, the cost of the maintenance because of the level that's needed. Driving around these Baltimore City streets, some of our potholes have their own zip code, and I'm telling you, if you look online, I think a survey recently by Money Geek had Maryland as the #1 most expensive state to operate a car. Not just because sometimes our insurance can be expensive, buying a car and tagging it, registration and all that stuff is expensive, and I'll get to that in a minute, but just the maintenance on a car alone coming in at about $400 a year. And I can tell you, as a guy who grew up in a mechanic shop, yeah, as I become busier and busier, I used to do all my own car work, but as I've become busier and busier, I have mechanics now that I trust. Depending on where I'm at, I have a couple of mechanics that I really love and I really trust. And as I was forming those relationships, when I would bring my car into them on the first or second meeting, they would say, "Where do you live?" And I'd say, "Baltimore City." And they'd say, "That's why you already need new shocks and struts and brakes and tires." And I'd say, "Yeah." So when you're thinking car maintenance, you're thinking, yeah, tires and oil. I get it. But when you're driving around on these Baltimore City streets, you want to think about struts, shocks, and if you're the type of person that brakes going over potholes instead of before, you're going to want to think brakes too. And I mentioned earlier about insurance rates and tagging and title and registration and all that. Well, as of July of 2024, our MVA rates went up. And for 2 years, to register a car weighing up to 3,500 pounds, it now costs $221. Now, unfortunately, our transportation trust fund here in the state is a little low, so they jacked our fees up 60%. To pay for that. Some of the money is also going towards our Maryland trauma centers. And because we have some of the best hospitals in the world, I'm not going to complain. I get it. Now, when you look at Delaware at $40, Pennsylvania at $45, Virginia at $31, and DC at $72, yeah, it stings. And it's something that you're going to want to keep in mind. And I'm not going to get into cost of car insurance and all that because those rates vary depending on driver and driving record and if you're bundling and all that kind of stuff. But a piece of that insurance puzzle is because we can get some pretty nasty weather here. And I talk about weather in some of my videos as a reason as to why some folks leave the area. You can check that out on my channel. But nasty weather means accidents, which means, again, car repairs, car maintenance, car insurance costs go up, things like that. So on this unexpected list, I have to include snow. I hate snow. When I was a kid, I loved it. As an adult, it drives me nuts. I do like how when it first snows, the city is gorgeous, but then it turns to this brown, slushy, nasty stuff, and everything looks ugly, and I don't like that. But we can have some pretty nasty winters here. I mean, we have blizzards, and some folks never think about snow removal. Now, even if it's something from a couple of bags of salt to you have to pay for your sidewalk to be shoveled or maybe your driveway to be plowed, or you could be in a cul-de-sac and all the neighbors get together. There is no HOA or anything like that. So all the neighbors get together and they chip into the pot and have a gentleman plow the cul-de-sac and their roads and alleys or whatever it may be. That's a cost. So that may be an unexpected cost that you want to keep in mind. And now, what you've all been waiting for, the piece de resistance, the item that you hung on here because you just had to find out what this absurd, unexpected cost would be. It's minimal. It just drives me nuts. We charge you for bags here. That's right. If you're heading to the grocery store in Baltimore City, you're going to be hit for 5 cents for a paper bag. In the surrounding counties, it's 10 cents. And I think they still have some plastic bags, but the city is paper. And I know it's only 5 cents, and you can negate the cost by buying a reusable bag. But in the beginning when this happened, I was just so hard-headed and so stubborn that I didn't buy a reusable bag. So I just kept paying for the paper bag. And then I'm like, just buy a reusable bag. And so I did. And then I just kept forgetting the bag. So I ended up paying 5 cents for a bag anyway. And I think last year I spent like $15.60 in bags. And you're probably thinking, Wayne, that's not a big deal. I spend $15 at Starbucks every day. Well, first off, that's a Dunkin' Donuts cup. And secondly, you do you, boo. You spend $15 on Starbucks if you want every day. I'm not. It just burns me up a little bit. So what do you think about this whole bag thing? Shoot me straight. Now I get it. For the environment, we don't need plastic bags stuck in our tree limbs and going down to the gutters, or as my grandfather would call them, the sore holes, and clogging up our bay and things of that nature. I understand from an environmental perspective, but what are your thoughts? Let me know in the comments down below about the bag situation. Yep, just bring your own in, I get it. But as I said, as a state that used to tax the rain, literally used to tax the rain under a previous administration, I'm not going to go there, a previous administration, I'm not surprised that the new administration took our bags away. Now the new administration is doing some positive things. Our crime is down and things like that. I'm not going to get into that on this video. I've got more of that coming your way again, so you don't miss out. You might want to subscribe and tap the bell so you won't miss the upcoming videos that I have on these other topics. Again, if you wouldn't mind tapping the like button, it's a huge help to me and those out there looking for information like this. I hope you tap the like because you actually like it, because I love doing it and don't plan on stopping. Again, if you're looking to move here or just have any questions prior to moving here, I'm at this 8 days a week. All my information is down below. I'll flash my information again up here on the screen, and feel free to reach out to me at any time, as I love the opportunity to show you around my hometown and or just answer any questions you may have about my hometown. As I've always said, Baltimore is a city of neighborhoods. You have multiple neighborhoods, multiple communities. It's an awesome place to be, as you'll hopefully feel in the upcoming videos that I provide. I'm always here to showcase the good, bad, and the ugly. While this video had some ugly, it is a fantastic place to be. I wanted to shoot you straight and just give you what the title actually promised. I hope you feel I've completed that mission, and until the next time, I will see you on the next one.